The world of all elite wrestling might as well be the world of all faction wrestling. There are multiple trios and factions slated to be within AEW that you can see on a week to week basis, no matter what show you are watching. And on today's edition of PJR, we are looking at three people from three factions who are considered to be kind of like the outspoken workers of their groups, if you will. I don't know, Juice. Would you describe these three guys as like the unspoken workers from their groups?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, maybe Reynolds does a little, maybe not Reynolds. Well, actually, yeah, I'd say so. Compared to the other ones, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yep, and of course we are talking about Chuck Taylor from Best Friends, Alex Reynolds from the Dark Order, and Buddy Murphy from the House of Black. Honestly, all three of these guys are pretty up there for me. I like all three of these guys. I've seen Alex Reynolds wrestle live a handful of times. I've seen Buddy Murphy on his transition from being a 205 to WWE to now AEW, and Chuck Taylor is just an indie darling through and through, and now is finally getting his time to shine on AEW television. This is a really tough one for me. It really is. I feel like, though, I know who my release is, so I guess I'll start there. And I would be releasing Alex Reynolds. And that's nothing against Alex Reynolds because he is a phenomenal worker. All three of these guys are phenomenal workers. He also has the chops too, but comparatively to the other two guys, I just like them a little bit more. I feel like the other two guys from a promo and in-ring work standpoint have a little bit more to offer, but I feel like Alex Reynolds is still kind of young in his wrestling days, especially on being a television worker, and especially since the storylines we're seeing right now where Hangman and the Dark Order are getting more involved with John Moxley and Blackpool Combat Club. Maybe we'll see him get to shine a little bit more and his stock will rise, but I think he's going to be in the release spot for me.
That's fair. Like you, I really like all three. I really like all three factions. I released Chuck Taylor. I think he's really funny, but I think I like Reynolds in the ring a little bit more, even though Chuck Taylor gets more matches. Being the elite, I really like Reynolds, but just him and his relationship with Silver is just amazing. Like you said, we've seen him in person. I've met him in person. Nice dude. Great worker, and I think he has more to give. I think he can be a good promo. I think he can be even better promo than Chuck. He just has to be given the moments. And I think him and Silver, that would be such a plucky underdog title reign. Like, put the straps on him, man.
I'd love to see the whole Dark Order get the trios titles at some point with Uno involved there too.
Yeah, I'd love to see that too. That would be another plucky, great, easy underdog story. They've hinted at before. They've came close, but they haven't done it yet. So yeah, I'm rooting for him. I don't want to fire Reynolds because I want the Dark Order intact. I want the three of them always in the Dark Order forever. Too many people are leaving.
And remember, it's not fire, it's release. It's more of there was not a spot than anything else.
Release. I don't want to release Reynolds. Chuck, love you, man. I remember that match that Best Friends had with Santana Ortiz in the parking lot brawl. That was so fire. Chuck Taylor knows how to scrap and no holds barred matches, but he's getting the release. I just like Reynolds a little bit more. Reynolds is my job, and that means my push is Buddy Murphy, because I think he is just. The other two are good workers in the ring, but I think Buddy is a whole level above. I think Buddy's phenomenal in ring. He's been one of my favorites to watch in the ring for a while. He has a great look. Dude's just a big beefcake man. He's a meaty man, but he's also like a flippy man. He's a flippy, meaty man. He's a jack of all trades. He's got some meat. He's got some flippies. He got some technical chops. The dude is a marvel.
And he's Australian.
Yeah, and he's Australian, and accents are cool, and I like Australian accents. That's like a top 3 accent for me.
I agree. So yeah, Buddy Murphy's sitting firmly atop of my push here. A guy that I think WWE completely fumbled the bag with. I think he could have been a guy that would have been a top level Intercontinental Champion and a guy that could have been feasibly in the main card fighting for titles. I don't think he'd be headlining WrestleMania per se, but I do think he could be on a B-level pay-per-view fighting for a title with a relatively good shot to win a title and at least put on a great match. And that also puts Chuck Taylor in my job for the reasons that you said about Chuck Taylor, in the sense of he's a good hand. I think that he's been around the block too many times for the fact that he could be a good like gateway to the mid or gateway out of the mid card for guys. And I think that Chuck would be a very serviceable hand in my company being in the job position. But yeah, Buddy Murphy, a guy that I think once House of Black has run its course, or even while House of Black is running their course, he could be easily a TBS champion, a TNT champion. I don't think he'd be a TBS champion. Also, maybe could be a part of the Ring of Honor stuff now that it's rumored that they're going to be getting their own weekly televised show. And yeah, I think that all three of these guys are just phenomenal and all have so much left to give to the wrestling world. But Buddy Murphy is always a guy I'll have my eye on because I just love that dude.
I didn't think it was rumored. I thought it was confirmed that Ring Honor, they're having the Ring Honor Club show, and they're gonna have a weekly show on it.
Regardless, I feel like all three of these guys could really profit being in Ring of Honor, and I hope to see it coming up. And of course, you can always let us know what you thought about this PJR on social media. The links are below, but Juice, let the people know where they can find us.
You follow the little birdie, and you go to Twitter and you type capital T, capital O, capital T, capital C, underscore capital P, lowercase O, lowercase D. And then you change apps. You go to Instagram, you type TOTC underscore POD, all lowercase.
Yes, and as always, please make sure you are liking, rating, and subscribing to this channel. And of course, we want to thank you all so much for tuning in to this video, and we will catch you next time.